Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our Jewel Ornament of Liberation series with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin today in the yellow Garchen Buddhist Institute prayer book on page 4 and 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Shachi jarbu jadon gujan zai durjin janje dilo naro da mapa mela juje gambo ba pamo draba javan drugong ba kaju lama nanje da jun je dana dana zara damje da lama labu laye jizo zon la zon yon din jamzu ngala Dendri donjin driba gale zor dage lo juzan dravara sinja labdo zor jua lamdan dravara sinja labdo zor lam drava zebra sinja labdo drava yuzan jabara sinja labdo zor gange denjen drivar jong ba memba je memba che ba memba da memba wa memba ru memba da de domen donjem Rupanye je de ba zoba sanje mananje damba de la sanzar tu Rinje zaba lama je kuson do je zena da 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 ke julam bed da ke demba dan sanje je don la bo jen rubar sanje la do so Good morning, dear Dharma friends. Some Dharma friends have been listening these Dharma teachings continuously. So I would like to share something because when we listening Dharma for long times and doing retreat for long times, it's quite similar. Same experience occurs, which is that sometimes feel little boring or little feel kind of tired or something like that. It occurs. So this is not a mistake of Dharma and the Dharma teachings, and this is also not a mistake of Dharma listeners. This is quite a nature, not only about the Dharma practices. Any kind of jobs, if we're doing something for long, then it sometimes feel bored. It happens. So that's where Uh, the first, we have to understand that we have golden opportunity to listen the Dharma, because in the Thara practice, Thara sadhana, it says, please turn the wheel of the Dharma of greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the varied thoughts and intellectual capacities of sentient beings. So there are different kinds of practitioners, and different practitioners need different kinds of teachings. So as we supplicate often frequently in the Taras prayer, so we have accomplished these prayers or wishes. So we have golden opportunity to teach and listen the dharmas. And also the reason why we should teach different the greater and the lesser and the common vehicles, because as we often pray in the dedication prayer, which says, may the sound of the great Dharma drum liberate all sentient beings from suffering. Please remain and teach the Dharma for infinite millions of karma. So the reason we have to teach Dharma is that, listening Dharma is the reason that, because Dharma teaching is like, how to say, the human beings are like a wild horse, untamed wild house. And the Dharma is like what's called this? Bridle. Yeah. Dharma is like a bridle. So without the Dharma teaching, then our mind is a wild horse, untamed wild horse. So that's why we this carries us a very dangerous place. But through Dharma practice, then it brings on the right way and can go quickly, can reach quickly where we have to go. And then we need different kinds of Dharma teachings, like a greater, lesser, and a common vehicles. That means actually we all are gradually liberators. 95% for sure, we are gradually liberators. So then we start to practice Dharma from the four preliminary practices and four thoughts. They are like a ground. We make a very certain ground. And then after we listen these Lamrim teachings and path instructions, they are like our walls of the house. And then we practice the higher, like Dzogchen and Mahamudra. This part are like a root of a house. However, if we have to build a house, we need a certain ground, and then we need walls, and then we need a roof of the house, and then it becomes house. Yeah. In the same way, our Dharma practitioners instantaneously become enlightened is very rare. Some yes, because in their previous lives they did. But you are instantaneously liberator or not. You ask by yourself. How do you know is that how much you can reduce your afflictive emotions. So you are gradually liberator or instantaneously liberator. You ask yourself by yourself, and then check how much this your afflictive emotion goes down and the obscurations goes down. This tells us clearly. This answer give answers clearly. But then we are gradually practice according to greatly liberators. We should build step by step. As I already gave you example, like how to build a house. So that's where it takes time, and at that time sometimes feel bored and something like that. So that's where we have to understand the power of these teachings and listening and practicing. So as our dedication prayer, it says, by the might of these powerful merit, may the aspirations of the benefactors and their circles be accomplished within this very life. May their obstacles be pacified. May everything be auspicious, and may their wishes be fulfilled according to the Dharma. So that's why this by the might of this powerful merit. So whenever we start to talk about merit, it is related to Dharma. It is related to Dharma. Then Dharma is related to our mind. So teachings is a method. Listening means you bring these methods. Yeah. So we always have to remember that, and then we should progress the listening dharmas. And also, just in case, sometimes you feel that, okay, this I listen dharma for long, and I did not see benefits. Sometimes it's very possible to you feel like that. First, I can say yes, because when we have heavy obscurations, it takes time to reduce. So we can purify some part, but we cannot feel it. But it's okay, we can feel it or not. We should purify entirely. This is very important. So then it's actually the Dharma is nowadays we teach some part of Dharma. Actually, sometimes we feel, oh, we are teaching so greatly, or we listen greatly teachings. Yes, but if we go one more step into the Dharma, 5 volumes, I think you did not hear, and it's quite hard to teach this part. It does not mean allow to teach, but it's difficult. Some did not learn about that. It's difficult to explain about this. Some already learned, but the problem is the language, so that's where the 5 great volumes. And then it's, for example, in Nyingma tradition, there are great 13 volumes. This is the great part, but there are more than. And then each other lineage, Kajupa, Satyapa, Nyingma, they all has the lot of volumes. So we are not on these volumes. We are so far yet. The problem I already mentioned that someone already learned about these things, but when it try to teach, the problem is the language. Language, because uh, the Dharma vocabularies are not easy, and then this try to teach in English, it's not easy. Yeah, that's where until now probably we are very rare to hear about these teachings, and some have some facilities, everything, but it's difficult because without studied, reflected, and discussion about that part is really not easy. Not easy. So that's where we always have to know that our still we have amazing, profound teachings. Still we have in some area of the precious area. So in the future, we continuously teach and learn and practice. So then each and every single Dharma word we hear in our here, and then we can purify, changing over these purifies our obscurations and afflictive emotions. So when we purify each and every these emotions, then we have less problems, less sufferings. And if we purify all of them, and then we don't have any suffering. So that's where, however, we do not need suffering. So we have to more focus and let you know these things. And then till now you heard Dharma words, many Dharma teachings. All of these teachings you try to dissolve into the mind. This is very important. This is very important because then it benefits. It gives us great benefit. And then today we are on the the karma cause and effect part. So among them, the unwavering karma cause and effect. So this have already taught. I mean, last week. Half of this we taught last week. So the unwavering karma means right now we are talking about the karma cause and effect of some desire gods realms, beings of desire realm. The god desire. In desire realm also there is a god's realms. So their karma just happen in their life, in their realms. So then unwavering karma means that, and then it has some it says the 8 preparatory observations and 8 actual observations. So I introduced these 16 observations, but the sum of there is like in this text says, page number 84. What arises having these 4 meditative concentration is meditation on the sphere of infinite space. Okay, so the infinite space means these gods, they perceive all phenomena as a space and rest in that perception. So all phenomena are like an infinite space. So then they meditate, they concentrate on there, and then they remain there. They think this is the highest realization. And then transcending cultivating the gives rise to rebirth as a god of sphere of infinite space. So they don't have like a physical form like us, but they have their body is light. So, however, when they meditate and then they how to say it's like grow their levels. So that's where uh, their they become the become or rebirth as a god of a sphere of infinite space, because the cause is they meditate that infinite space, all phenomena as or how to say, all phenomena as space, or all phenomena as space, and then they rest means they meditate there. So then they rebirth in the gauze of sphere of infinite space. Transcending this leads to meditation on the sphere of infinite consciousness, and cultivating this gives rise to rebirth as a god of the sphere of infinite consciousness. Okay, these and then the the perception of infinite space is also just a consciousness, and they rest in that perception. So first they thought the infinite, all phenomena are like infinite space, yeah, and then they rest there, and then this perception of infinite space, this is also just infinite consciousness. They realize that just a consciousness, and then they rest there. Infinite consciousness. Transcending this leads to meditation on the sphere of nothing whatsoever, and cultivating this gives rise to rebirth as a god of the sphere of nothing whatsoever. When analyzing whether anything exists beside consciousness, they discover there is nothing whatsoever, and they rest there. Transcending these lead to meditation on the sphere of transcending these lead to meditation on the sphere of nothing whatsoever, and cultivating this give rise to the rebirth as a cause of the sphere of nothing whatsoever. Yeah. So then they perceive that beside the consciousness there is anything exist, and then they notice there is nothing beside consciousness. There is nothing exist, and then they single pointedly rest on this stage. And then they arise from this meditation. Then what happened is, transcending this leads to meditation on the sphere of neither cognation nor absence of cognation, and cultivating these gives rise to rebirth as a god, of a sphere of neither cognation nor absence of cognation. So eventually they recognize this, and then this is the final realization, and then they don't try to recognize the non-duality. So now we are talking about non-duality, and they say nor neither cognation nor absence of cognation. It's quite similar, yeah, but big different. So this is the final realization, but eventually means they are stay in the tip of the samsara, tip of the samsara, very very edge of the samsara. They almost liberate, but then still they hold with some they're banned by some fixations. So that's why they could not liberate from samsara. But they have less suffering because their realization are very higher, their concentrations are wonderful. What exactly is meant by the cipher transcending these? It means that the subsequent stage represents as a transcendence of the previous mind condition and moves toward another condition that is freer from desire and attainment. Are the spheres of infinite space and so forth so called because limitless space itself and the others are the actual object of meditation? No, the first three are called infinite space and so forth because the mind is incurred by evoking terms such as infinite space and so on during the meditative attainment. Later, when the preparatory stage is over, there is no such incurring of mind. The last of the four is too called because of its diminished cognition. Although there is barely any lucid cognition, it cannot be said that there is absolutely none at all. All the 8 actual observations consist of a single pointed virtuous mind. With these, the cause and effects of unwavering karma have been presented. The precious Garland says, through the observations, the immeasurables and the formless states, the happiness of Brahma having, and so forth, is experienced. Thus, the three kinds of tainted actions described above, i.e., non-virtuous, virtuous, and unwavering, give rise to the substance of samsara. Okay. Then the next. The third point is ownership. The fact that actions determine your personal lot. The consequence of the actions that someone has done will be experienced by that person alone. They come to maturity in the aggregates of their drawer and in no one else. In the compendium of higher knowledge, it says, what does it mean? Actions determine your personal lot. Because individuals experience the full maturation of actions they themselves have done, and because that maturation shares nothing in common with others, it is called personal. Were this not the case, then karma could dwindle or become exhausted, or someone might receive evil consequences from acts committed by someone else. This is why the Sutara says, the deeds committed by Devadatta will not come to maturity in the earth or in water and so forth. They will come to maturity solely in his very own aggregates and sins, spheres. In those of whom else could they possibly come to maturity? Okay, so This is very true that what kind of we cultivated what kind of negative karma, then this result well experienced by oneself. We cannot share this result to our parents or so forth. If we can share our negative karma to someone, then Buddha already voluntarily Buddha took our negative karmas. So we have no reason to stay in this world. Do you think it's true or not? For example, in the one family has two boys, two boys. So one boy break law, another boy did not. Then the who break the law, that person get more punishment. Like that. And of course, the other also suffering through this way. So that is also related to that another boy's karma. So, for example, if there are two boys in one family, one boy made some big mistake, and then through that way, that boy got lots of problems in the jail and so forth. So then another boy don't want to go to the jail, yeah, because he did not make any mistakes there. So, but then we think, okay, then this another boy also suffering because his brother or young or older brother made some mistakes. So then after that, his brother went to the jail or something, and then he feel sad and unhappy. So this is not other person's karmic result. Do you understand? This is he also have to rebirth in same family. So this is his karma. He cultivated that karma in previous lives. So for example, in some family has Rinpoche, Tuku, or some Rinpoche. If there are few brothers, one is Rinpoche, Tuku, but another are not Rinpoche or Tuku, yeah. So this is how they are differently cultivated karma. But they took rebirth in the same family. That's where then there's another brother also cultivated some good karmas. So then his brother became Tuku, then he was or is happy. Yeah, so that's where this is the karma is like a horse tail. The horse has many long tail, but each and every things they goes themselves. How to say? I quite not sure. For example, I have long hair, and then they become like attached to each other. But the horse tail is very rough. Yeah, it goes one lane each one almost. Not they don't become tangled. Yeah, quite. Yeah, I don't know how much suitable this example. So each person, what kind of cultivated the karma, then this karma will repent. For example, you look at my fingers right now, it's quite similar because the one hand has hand has 5 fingers, yeah. So you think that these 5 fingers are similar? Yes, similar because they cultivate is a similar cause. But you come to very close in my hand and you check carefully my fingers. each and every, they have different designs or different lengths or something like that. So that the karma means like that. And then where we are, the next is the fourth point is apportionment, the fact that experiences due to action are strictly apportioned. Happiness or suffering is infallibly experienced as the respective consequence of virtuous or harmful action. By accumulating virtuous action, happiness will be experienced as a result. By accumulating harmful action, suffering will be experienced as a result. The compendium of higher knowledge says of this, how will experience be apportioned? Subject to the rapid result of actions, a person experiences his own share that corresponds specifically to the virtuous or non-virtuous actions that have been done. The Shortle Sutara on mindfulness says, through virtue, one attains happiness, through non-virtue, suffering occurs. This is the reason for teaching clearly the virtuous and non-virtuous actions and their consequences. And in the cautions of Sutara, from the seeds of space plants, space fruits will grow, and from sweet seeds, sweet fruits will come to grow. Wise and skillful people should know through this example the full consequence of evil to be like the space fruit, and bright action to be like the sweet. Okay. So this, actually I already explained the meaning of this. So seeds of space plants, space fruits will grow. This is a very good example. You always, if you memorize this, it's very important. It's helpful. Then often you utilize it. If you plant seeds of the seed sweet, then its fruition is also sweet. And then often we have confused that, and you also have questioned that if a scientist mixed sweet and spice and then plants, it's grow. We thought this is sweet and spice both. Then how can be that? We thought like that. So this is, we have to go more in subtle the karmic relations. So we say mixed, how much it is mixed. For example, water and milk. Water and milk, we mixed water and milk. If I pay for you all of my things and I asked you in my bowl, please separate this water and milk, it's quite difficult, yeah. But swan is in the water bird, swan. If we give them, they drink only milk. They left whole water. They can separate that. So that means inherently they are not mixed. Same like that, we also said, with the sweet and salt, the spice mixed and put on the tongue, we just thought it's the same. But then the tongue's consciousness experience sweet, experience salt, space. So they differently experience. So That means the karma cause and effect is very, very subtle. I can share you around 5% about karma cause and effect. Then 100% karma cause and effect, Buddha taught. That's where we are going to emphasize, to learn more and to learn and bring into the mind it more help. And then we can take care, even we have golden opportunity that some has thousands of dollars. If I look right and left, nobody there. No cameras, nothing. And if I still that, nobody see it if I feel like that. But karma cause and effect always stand up with my mind. So that's why, okay, it's better to left. Don't act that negative action. So like that. So we need a lot of good people in this world. In the future, very important. The good people are very important in this world. This world becomes crazy. It's in the future. It's year by year. It's decrease actually. People's behavior, people's thought, the selfish actions grow, and then they don't care. We don't care each other's. Lots of these things happen. Only karma, karmic view, protect us. Only means that, of course, other things protect us, but the karmic view strongly protects us, protect Mother Earth, protect our peaceful world. So that's why it's very important. In the I think many these religions explain about karma cause and effect in different ways. And also many non-Buddhist religions, they also, some have a great wisdom. I think they also practice very well about karma cause and effect. So that's where this world is still okay. So we should be careful in the future for our future generations. Because all sentient beings, not only the conscious beings, conscious beings, all of sentient beings are our friends. Right now we say friends, but in the after they become enlightened and we become enlightened, we become same. We became same. Right now we are like branches of tree, so it's just that we are grow in different directions. So, but the main thing is come from the one tree. So same like we all have to take responsibility of all of our brothers and sisters, no matter which religion or which old or young, no problem. Male or female or transgenders, no problem. We should respect and help. Respect and help. These two things are important. And these two things comes from karma. So we respect whether other people are knowledgeable or not. Other people are higher than you or not. We respect. That actually come from where? Come from some who has a karmic view, and then we can respect others. And who believe in karma, and then we can help others. So this is very, very important. And then the fifth point is inflation. inflation, the fact that great results can be created by a small cause. It has been taught that it is possible even for a single moment of evil action to cause you to experience in eon in the hills. In Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life, it says, the sage has said that whoever generates an evil mind against a benefactor such as the Bodhisattva will stay in hell for as many eons as there were moments of evil mind. It is also said that a person will experience suffering for 500 existences for each instance of bad speech uttered, and so forth. The collection of aphorisms says, even a small bad action can generate much fear and considerable damage in a future existence. It is like a poison that has entered the system. Okay, so this is this part we maybe you already reflected more. The more question comes through this way when we learned about these things. So small kind of action or small karma comes big results. This is quite unacceptable, but it's the small means actually about the potential or power. This is not small. Then I think makes sense. The action of this power, for example, I use a single non-word harsh word, yeah, towards the Bodhisattva. So I don't make long sentences through this harsh word. And I don't use it frequently, but I use it with a very negative motivation, and then I used it through my deep mind. So then the non-virtue becomes very powerful, strong, especially this I use this harsh word towards the Bodhisattva. So what is the problem? The problem is in this world we have only one sun in the sky. So this is example, okay? So everybody needs the sun, and actually it's impossible. But if it's possible, if some come to destroy that sun, then what happened? Only one sun. So similarly, Bodhisattvas are very, perhaps we can say it's very rare. Bodhisattvas are very rare. Whether Bodhisattvas, there are countless of Bodhisattvas, they come to help us, but because of our negative karma, we cannot see. It's, for example, in my room has such the wonderful books. If I just keep in the keeps them, I did not open them, something like that. Just I see outside the books. If I did not open them for a long time, then I don't know what they say. Yeah, same like, so many Bodhisattvas came for benefit us, but we cannot see them. But then some we are seeing or we understanding the Bodhisattvas, and then we use some kind of this harsh word, then this result make more experience. So that's where this Bodhisattva is very special. And then this my karma has a very potential, it is powerful. So these two things comes, then the fruition is very dangerous, and it's experienced for a long time, or sufferers are loud, something like that. It is also the case that even a small virtuous act induce great consequence. The collection of aphorisms says even doing a small wholesome act can produce great happiness in future existence and create great consequence, like grains that produce the most abundant harvests. Yeah. So this talks true or not? For example, we plant the very like a sesame seed. We have a single sesame seed, and if we plant it grow lots of greens, lots of or tall greens, and then it has many uh, other kind of fruitions, something like that. So we, yeah. The next point is in inelutability, the fact that karma never just fades away, except for the case of action that has been properly remedied, results will not be lost or become any weaker with time, even though the karma may not ripen for endless eons. Although you may have been in a state of ease for a considerable period, the result will be induced whenever you encounter that request circumstances, whatever they may be. Being convinced about actions and their consequences, as explained above, and fearing the sufferings of samsara, then, as it is said, someone who turns away from worldly happiness, turns away from unwholesome action, and strives for their own peace alone, that person is referred to as middling. Okay, so first I would like to say a little bit the things that the first part, the experience cause and action properly. Uh, mm, this thing. Some have these questions. This question: all material things are impermanent, right? Yes, all material things are impermanent. And then karma is also including material things. Yes. And then karma itself impermanent. Yeah. Oh yes. And then karma itself impermanent, then we do not worry about the karma result, because if we cultivate some negative karma, itself impermanent. So we don't worry about this result. So some Dharma friends may have these questions, maybe like that questions. So the karma is impermanent, and this is also good information, because if we have a negative karma, this is impermanent. So it's not stay with us forever, you know. Maybe few years, few months, few days, few hours, that's all. But that karma impermanent, it does not mean the karma goes and the fruition goes together. So the karma repents, and then karma impermanent. It's changed. It goes like there's a sesame seed. It opened. It growing some. It is fruition. After then this gone. Same like that. So the fruition will experience. We experience fruition. So this karmic fruition is a positive karmic fruition, then that is good news for us. But if this karmic fruition is a negative karmic fruition, then we are suffering. So if we are suffering for 1 hour, just an hour, it is a very difficult situation. So that's where we cannot accept suffering. For that reasons, we are going to purify negative karma, or we prevent negative karma. Okay, someone who turned this. A middling person who cultivates such as approach would be the likes of the 7 daughters of King Kirking. Thus it says in the 100th story about karma, the karmas of a physical being are not lost or weakened, even for 100 young. Once they are established, their results will ripen whenever the appropriate time comes. So then there's actually the 7 daughters of King Kirking. So it is actually the king had 7 daughters. They renounced samsara and became nuns, but they were middling capacity practitioners because they become nuns in order to liberate themselves. So king's daughters are princesses. Princesses. So princess is always ready to be married. But these daughters, they renounced in samsara. So renounced samsara is very important. Without renunciation, even we don't have renunciation in the samsara, it's quite difficult to practice continuously. Yeah. But the practice renunciation for the sake of mother beings or oneself, that makes a difference. So middling means they see the samsara is the ocean of suffering, and they don't like to stay in the samsara continuously, but they're intolerant their own suffering. Intolerant. So that's where they cannot provide their compassion and bodhichitta for all beings. So our mind is like a empty space, and then grasping make a small vessels, like a small vessel, a small container. So then, however, then in the make a very small hole. So now we are going to open that. So we say Buddha means in Tibetan Buddha means Sangje, two words. Sang means purify the obscurations. Je means how to say more vast. So the middling class or capacities means they do practice well, but they do themselves, and then they can purify some obscurations, and they can increase their motivation, but not like a full moon. In the short sutra on mindfulness, it says, fire may become cold. The wind may be caught by a lasso, and the sun and the moon may fall down, but the consequences of karma are infallible. You should memorize that, okay? It's also helpful. So usually the fire become cold. Fire naturally hot. So cold fire maybe is very rare to see. Sometimes some kind of practitioners use their mantra, and then the power of mantra makes the fire is cold. But that is not, after that is not fire, you know. But however, actually what fire become cold is almost impossible. Also, wind may be caught by a lasso. That is also quite difficult. And then the sun and the moon may fall down. So these things are impossible, but still it says possible. Generally we say impossible is possible, quite similar. They say, but the consequences of karma are infallible. So then that information or this sutra verse helps a lot to us. So you memorize that if you can memorize it. This concludes the 6th chapter concerning actions and their effects from the ornament of precious liberation, a wish-fulfilling gem of sublime Dharma. Okay, then next is 7th chapter, loving kindness and compassion. Now I present as the antidote to counteract attachment to solitary peace, the practice of compassion. Attachment to solitary peace means longing only for one's own nirvana and lacking altruistic activity due to absence of loving concern for sentient beings. This is the Hinayana. As it is said, when personal welfare takes priority thinking to really benefit myself, I must ignore all the various things that need to be done to help others. Then self-interest has taken control. The best benefit of ourselves is to benefit other beings. So Buddha is smart means that Buddha has a special wisdom we call the omniscience. So Buddha he had know how to benefit oneself. We don't know how to benefit oneself. So we try to benefit ourselves, but we punish ourselves in this life and the next life. In simple example, if we are angry, that makes very clearly sense. Then other things like a jealousy and pride, self-pride. And the main thing is self-grasping. So we belong, these 5 aggregates are the same. They are naturally emptiness. But our mind or thoughts make one form. And then we belong each and every holes of fear or hairs, our body. And we belong all the joints. We belong all the bones and organs. That's where we are now. This body becomes very sensitive. Very sensitive. Otherwise, the statues and our bodies are no different. The statues, Buddha's statues, for example, we covered some nice clothes, Dharma robes, and then just left up there. Sometimes we offer water bowls, sometimes not, but always the face is full of smelling. But we now our body is very sensitive, and we do lots of things for our body. So this is how the grasping lies to us. Deceive to us. So if we are recognize that this body is like a form of the form of the sand, yeah, still it benefits us. But in reality, this is not a form. In English, there are 5 aggregates, and then in the Tibetan say Pungpo, that means the gathering together, yeah. So in reality, these are our body and this empty space as no any single different. So then this empty space is always balanced, free, relaxed. No problem, there's hot or cold, whatever. 100,000 knives try to cut it, there are no problem. We cannot cut it. We cannot cut because this is empty. So our body is same, but our grasping has special magic. So it's a miracle. The miracle of grasping make forms, and then it make very sensitive. Even we punch between 2 fingers, it's pain and hurts, something like that. So this is how we don't understand our grasping mislead us, but we don't understand. Okay, that is pretty higher realization. I mean, about realization of emptiness. But if we really need some benefit, we should benefit others. This part is very important to know. Okay? If we know that, then practice bodhichitta, 100 times say that, or if you know that, to make sense that, then it more benefit. This is more benefit. I mean, when you realize that if you benefit to others, this benefit, the result is benefit for yourself. For example, doctors, they sell medicines. They take care of patients. Yeah. Doctors have this. If doctors, they don't sell their medicine and they just keep in the very corner of a house and use many kind of locks. These medicines do not make money. So then doctors cannot build the higher buildings. Then cannot buy what's called the car is like a BMW. They cannot buy it. So they sell medicine, kindly take care of patients, and then patients voluntarily offered them money, and then they have nice house, nice buildings, nice cars, and so forth. If some it depends. Some thought these are important, and then same like in the students, they and their parents, they pay money in the school. Yeah, schools. They paid money in the schools, and then their children become educated. And then after 18 years old, later, they don't worry about their children. Something like that. So if they have a little money and just hold in 24/7, hold in the hand, maybe that's the sweet, yeah. Make weight. The money is just a paper, so it's just wasted there. So, and maybe if you want to keep in some corners, maybe mice take them away. Mice take them away, and then so that's where the wisdom beings know aloud actually. The educated people, we call educated people Dharma. Educated people means who these teachers, they help to grow their wisdom. There are lots of things, the benefit. So first doing something for others and then receive a benefit receive back. So bodhichitta means to always think for others. Number one, we forget the self-grasping I at that moment. When we forget I, we have less suffering. Do you believe? I give you another example. In the daytime, you have happened something, you have lots of suffering. Maybe whole day almost you cry. In the night, if you sleep for 2 hours or 1 hour, at that moment you are not cry. So that means you forget I, little forget. But the seed of grasping remains there. But little you forget, only you forget self-grasping has that benefit. For example, you are homesick so much, in the daytime you miss your parents and so forth, and then your mind is like always you visualize your parents' face and something like that. In the night, sometimes you get a good dream that you met them, and that's a good thing. You well happy, but sometimes you not like that dreams, but you sleep in deeply, then you don't have that problem. It's a very small problem, for example. It's same like that. And then this part is just to forget, benefit of forgetting self-grasping. Forgetting, it means it's still it does not mean you purified, okay? And then if you let go your egoistic mind into the Dharmakaya or Dharma, that realization of Dharmakaya, and then you don't have self-grasping, never come back if you have that stage, if you reached this stage. So then you have no problem, you have no suffering. So now we think all mother thinking beings at that time over my. Okay, another example. Grasping and we hold breath inside is quite similar. We hold breath inside maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then it's very difficult. The face become red, and then almost eyes balls ready to come on the ground or something like that. It's very difficult, yeah. But when you breathe out in the empty space, breathe out, then you are relaxed. Same like when you think I make stronger. You misunderstand. Thinking I is important. And then you think, and then eventually it's hold you very strongly, and then you have a lot of sufferings. So bodhichitta means always you think the others, you focus others, your attention scattered towards others. So that's where you have less suffering. When personal welfare, did I read this? Or when loving kindness and compassion become part of you, you have so much care. So much care for other conscious beings that personal liberation alone would be unbearable. Therefore, you need to cultivate loving kindness and compassion. Master Manjushri Kirti has said, a follower of the Mahayana should not be without loving kindness and compassion for even a single moment. And it is not anger and hatred, but loving kindness and compassion that vouchsafe the welfare of others. So Buddhist in other case, we're talking about the interdependence. We are all same like a house. So this house has the four directions, has 4 walls, and then pillars, and roof and the ground. They all related to each others. So they are related to each others means interdependence. So when we start to help other beings, we can help other beings, and then they are happy. Because we are interdependent, we can harm to other beings and we can help other beings. So because this is interdependence, if we harm other beings, they were suffering, and if we will help other beings, they will be happy. So if we are going to help other beings, bodhicitta is very important. Because when we have bodhicitta in our mind, we are not tired to help other beings. We don't need different reasons why do we help other beings. without reason is okay, we can help other beings. So these all mother thinking beings, we are including these mother thinking beings, and they uh, uh, they are always aspect happiness, and they are aspect that we will help them. I think if I say that, it's okay, because we are Dharma practitioners. We say we have a Buddha nature in our mind. So if we have a Buddha nature in our mind, then our responsibility is a benefit to all of these beings. Because Buddha, he himself did, himself benefited to all beings. So we are the followers of Buddha. And our expectations are to become enlightened. So then for that reason, we have to help other beings. Then how to help? This is if there are some businessmen, business people, they benefit through their economic, their monies. It's amazing. It's really, really rejoice. And we can help through this way for benefit others through money or something. If you are a billionaire, you can more benefit. But if you are not billionaire, if you can benefit. Even you small piece of bread give to the birds or other ants, it is also a great benefit to others. If you don't have any food and clothes and so forth, you have tongue, you have a voice, so you benefit others through mantras. If you kind, sometimes you are a little bit lethargic, to sound comes out, motivate from your mind. May all beings have no suffering. Have no suffering? So the day by day, you training with the practice through this way, and then your mind become more vast. So how much your mind become more vast, and then your suffering is just turn into the equanimity, or not happiness, not suffering, and then you more your mind become more and more vast, and then all sufferings are also turned into the happiness. If sufferings turned into the happiness, then we have plethora of happiness, because we have lots of sufferings, and then they turn into the happiness. Then we don't think, oh, where is Buddha, where is Yadam? So wherever is the sufferings, then they turns into the happiness. The development of loving kindness, the first of these two topics is loving kindness. The synopsis for these chapters is, for this sub-chapter is, limitless loving kindness is well summarized by 6 topics. its categories, its focus, the form it takes, the means of cultivating it, its measure, and its qualities. Okay. First, there are three categories. One, loving kindness is focused on sentient beings. Second, loving kindness is focused on the nature of things. And three, loving kindness with no objective reference. It says of these in the Ashaya Meti Sutara. Loving kindness focused on sentient beings is that of bodhisattvas first cultivating bodhichitta. Loving kindness focused on the nature of things is that of the bodhisattva engaged in the deeds. And the loving kindness without any objective reference is that of bodhisattva who have attained the forbearance, accepting phenomena as unboring. Okay. So loving kindness focus on sentient beings. That means first part we have to focus all these other sentient beings. We already talked more. Loving kindness focus on the nature of things. So actually this means that this practitioner who gain the realization of impermanent. So if I gain the realization of impermanence, and then I focus towards you, and I examine, for example, you realize the impermanence or not. If not, then for that reasons I generate my love towards you. I don't mean, oh, he or she doesn't realize the impermanence, so I love him or she. Not like that, okay? Sometimes it's possible to happen like that when I say something. What I try to say is, oh, he or she is my brother. Same sentient beings, including my mother. So he or she doesn't understand impermanence. So that's where I love to help you. This is the example. And then loving kindness with no objective reference. So this is actually in the, I already committed to you to bring this Heart Sutara verse. Beyond words, beyond thought, beyond description, parimita, unboring, unceasing, the very essence of space, yet it can be experienced as the wisdom of our own awareness. Homage to the mother of the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. So this is the unboring and unceasing. In this case, what is the unboring and unceasing? It mentioned ultimate level, ultimate truth. So, ultimate truth, if I realize the ultimate truth, then there is no sentient being. There is no sentient being. There is no subject and there is no object. All three spheres are same. Subject, object, and all phenomena are same in the ultimate truth. But means, so I don't have a particularly conceptions. But without conception, without thoughts, all of my actions or blessings benefit others. Like the sun has no thought, but sun's warm. Sun doesn't thought, oh, I'm going to benefit these beings, these plants, and so forth. And same like rains, they don't have thoughts, but they benefit. They benefit. Same like that, Dharmakaya how benefit to us. So through this way, this is the highest way to benefit others. So the meaning is the no objective reference means that the very essence of like a space, yet it can be experienced as wisdom of our own awareness. It's same, the subject or object, they are same. Second, explaining only the first category of loving kindness, the focus includes each and every sentient being. Third, the form it takes is that of a mind longing for all sentient beings to find happiness. Fourth, the way to cultivate loving kindness is as follows. Since gratitude is the root of love, bring to mind the kindness of sentient beings. In this respect, the person who has been kindest to you in this life is your own mother. In what way she has been kind? By creating your body, kind through undergoing hardships on your behalf, kind by nurturing your life, and kind by teaching you the ways of the world. The perfection of wisdom in 8,000 lands says, why is this? Mothers give birth to us, underwent hardships, kept us alive, and taught us all about the world. This part is bring some part, but then you have it's related to your own culture, so you have different experience with your mother, like in different ways she helps you, you remember them, and then you can generate loving kindness through that way. So in this case, first consider the kindness of nourishing your body. This body of yours did not start over fully growing, with its flesh fully developed and with a healthy complexion. It developed gradually inside your mother through the different embryonic and fetal stages, being gradually created and nourished by vital fluids from her very own flesh and blood. This part I think do not need explain, so I will read carefully so you can focus carefully, okay? And pretty easy to understand if I read this carefully for you. I pay homage to the Manjushri I can read clearly. Otherwise, it grew things to nourish mind from the food she ate. It came into being by her having to put up with all sorts of embarrassment, sickness, and suffering. Furthermore, generally speaking, it was she who helped make this body, which started out a tiny infant, into its present bulk as big as a yak. Next, considered if you don't have a yak, so that's why I already told you, cow. If you don't have a cow, then you have what is it? Dog, yeah, or horse, yeah. Next, consider the kindness of undergoing hardships. Actually, horse are a little different. Dog and potato are always every the where they are same. This is also one karma. Uh, Tibetan dogs and here we have dogs that are the same, yeah, and potatoes are same. Uh, horses are different. Okay, you did not come into this world clothed, finely adorned, with money in your pocket and provisions for the journey. Someone thought they come in this world with lots of money in their pocket. uh, when you came into this unfamiliar place where you knew no one and had nothing, mm, uh, the only wealth you had was your howling mouth and empty stomach. Your mother gave you food so that you would not go hungry, drink to keep you from thirst, clothes to fend off the cold, and wealth to keep you from poverty. It was not as though she just gave you things she no longer needed herself. She herself went without food, without drink, and without new clothes. There is a story. That story was happened around 1959 in Tibet. So one mother, she crossed big land like this Chino Valley land. It's very empty. She carried her baby in her arm, in her clothes. She came along with her baby. Baby is very, very small. Unfortunately, she met many wolves, hungry wolves. They attacked her. But she has no any helper. But she fought with these wolves. And eventually there some horse riders came there. And they saw she has this lower body, everything ate from feet to the waist. The wolves ate, but she did not die yet. And she held her baby in her armpit, yeah. And here she has small the Tibetan the women, they sometimes they just part of a decoration, they on the outside of their dress there's some made by like a silver, make it some like a heart design. It's just there. Sometimes they keep there some needles or something. However, right hand she bite, beat or bite, beat, not beat, beat to the wolves. She protected her child. So these horse raiders came there. She can't speak out, but then she showed the action language. through her action language, she said, please protect this. She shows her baby. And they took her baby. Her baby's body has little blood. That blood are her blood. But her baby did not get single scratch by wolves. She saved her baby. And then, yeah, this story is real happened. And then the horse raiders took her baby and they kept it. She showed smiling from her face, and she showed thumb. That means she was satisfied. She was happy because she dedicated for her baby like that. So this is a real story. It really happened around 1959. There are a lot of kind of these mothers. So when tried to remember these your mother's kindness, and someone has due to different according to or due to different karmas, and then someone more you are so grateful someone you remember these, and then you try to more generate your loving kindness. So in this case, what it explain, for example, furthermore, not only did she sacrifice her happiness as far as this existence is concerned, she also deprived herself of using her assets as offerings to provide for her own prosperity in future lives. In brief, without regard for her own happiness in both this life and the next life, she devoted herself to rearing and caring for you, her child. Nor did she obtain what was needed easily and pleasurably. To provide for you, she was obliged to do harm, to suffer, and to toil. She did harm by having to resort to fishing, killing animals, and so on to provide for you. She suffered because what she gave you was the fruit of trading, laboring in the fields, and so forth, wearing the late evening or early morning frost for her boots, the stars as a hut, riding the horse of her calves, beating by the whip of the long grass, her legs exposed to be beaten by dogs, and her face exposed to the looks of men. She also treated this undefined person who had become her child with more love than her own father, mother, or lama, even though she knew not who this being was or what you would become. She looked at you with loving eyes. give you her gentle warmth, cradled you in her arms, and spoke to you with sweet words, saying, "My joy, my sunshine, my treasure, cooch, 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 aren't you mommy's happiness?" and so forth. We all got these sweet words, but now we grow, so we forgot. Okay, so these some are related situation of Tibet. So then you more remember that where are you now, and how your mother takes care of you, and through this way more focus, and then your loving kindness will grow. Next, consider the kindness of keeping you alive. It is not as though you were born as you are now, knowing how to feed yourself and endowed with the necessary ability to accomplish difficult tasks. When you were helpless, unless a little worm, unable to think, your mother did not discard you, but did an inconceivable number of things to nurture your existence. She took you on her lap, protected you from fire and water, held you away from dangerous precipices, got rid of all sorts of harm, and prayed for you at those times when she feared for your life or health. She resorted to divinations, astrology, exorcisms, recitations of texts, special ceremonies, and so on. Finally, consider the kindness of teaching you the ways of the world. At first, you were not the clever, experienced, strong-minded person you are now. Apart from being able to bow out to other members of your family and flip your limbs about, you were ignorant. When you did not know how to feed yourself, it was he who taught you how to eat. Anybody know when first you mother gave birth, you can eat by yourself, directly walk in the kitchen and cook. So I think we don't have reason to keep any pride about these things. We must respect, even they are not our mom, we should respect if someone who has babies, mothers, because we say tuku is reincarnations. When they birth, there's some kind of amazing science or something. They hold the bell and Dharma, but at that time they are not so young. Honestly, they are almost same like come with cry. So these babies, some these reincarnations, they show the ordinary lifestyle. Of course, they already elaborated, but So that's why we when we mothers gave us rebirth, how to say, gave birth, and then at that time we only know how to cry. This is also pretty good, because we say we have some sufferings. Yeah, otherwise we don't. We should laugh, but we cry. So that means we will suffer. So who help us? Only mothers. When you know not how to dress yourself, it was she who taught you. When you did not know how to walk, it was she who taught you. When you could not even speak, it was she who taught you, repeating Mama, Dad, and so on, having taught you various crafts and skills. She helped you become a balanced being, strengthening, your weaker points and introducing you to the unfamiliar. Moreover, apart from being your mother in this life, she has also been your mother in previous lives. And in estem, inestimably number of time. Thank you so much. Due to the unending round of existence that has been going on since time without beginning. The beginningless time sutara says, where one person to set down a little jujube kernel for every piece of earth, stone, plant, or forest that where is the word, and a second person to count them. Eventually a time will come when the count will be completed. Yet were we to try to count the number of times that one being has been our mother, it will be impossible. Okay. Yeah, so it's this part I read for you. Mind like a draw through this way. This is a great meditation, and then you don't know how your bodhichitta grow. It immediately will grow, and we all have a golden opportunity to become great bodhisattvas through practice loving kindness and compassion, and then to become enlightened or a Buddha, first we should become bodhisattva, great bodhisattva. Okay, thank you very much, and now we will dedicate for welfare all mother sentient beings. Chanchu senjo renpo che ma che ba na che jor che ba nyam ba me ba yang ko ne kong de pe wa shuo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. May you have a long, happy life. Thank you.